just the tonic. Everything I want, well, nearly everything I wanted from tonight. JOAO Pedro, his first career hat-trick, and I tell you what, the man, the Brazilian, the Samba boy, the Chelsea starting striker is on flames. An incredible performance. He's been playing incredibly well, generally, as a striker. The general centre-forward play has been excellent from the Brazilian. I mean, he should have the number 9, Delap. Give him the number 9. Superb from him. Cole Palmer, a long-range, open play goal. Beauté! Absolutely sensational scenes away in Villa Park against a top 5 rival and was what was being dubbed a must-win game. Absolutely sensational scenes in just the tonic, despite us being vulnerable on transition at times, and we will get into that. Some really interesting stuff, but, you know, Garnacho, a good performance from Garnacho, a great performance from Cole Palmer, a good performance from Cole Palmer, an insanely great performance from JOAO Pedro. Got to see some rotation, Lavia on the pitch again. More minutes for Hato. So just a really, really excellent, lovely day out. I think Man United dropped points as well to Newcastle. Let me just double check that. Well, they might still be playing, actually. That's the point. I think they are still playing. Yeah, they got loads to play. They've got over half an hour. So we'll forget about them. They are playing against 10 men, Newcastle, at the time of recording. But we're here to talk about Chelsea playing against Aston Villa. Aston Villa 1, Chelsea 4. Incredible scenes. I'm buzzing. And look, can I just say, guys, you deserve this. Yeah? You deserve this. I know Villa have been on the wobble. That means they've been taking ketamine. I know they've been wobbly lately. But I heard they didn't have a midfield. And it ruddy looked like a midfield to me that they had. We'll talk about that. But, they have been in great form, especially like at home. But this is a massive game, bro. If there's anything you know about this Chelsea team recently, they go up against a side and they'll be like, oh, they haven't done this for a while and Chelsea should be beating them. And then we drop points. This was a tough outing in a must-win game, and we battered them, really, ultimately. We'll get into it. We'll crack it open. We'll look at the data. Some very interesting storylines and narratives in this. The only downer is I have a feeling tonight is the night that Arsenal won the Premier League. But let's not talk about anything so repulsive. Guys, we're going to crack into this game. I'll say it would mean a lot for JOAO Pedro as his first Premier League hat-trick. But he's been playing like a guy, like the best striker. Genuinely, he's been playing like the best striker in the league, in the Premier League, in the best league in the world. So, yeah, he will keep scoring. He will keep pressing. He will keep assisting. He will keep cooking. But it's just such a good game, like such a good moment for people like Palmer to score that goal. Because we'll get into player performances because it was really important. Because the game was poised, especially considering we conceded the opener in the second minute. Just quickly, thank you for joining me, gang. Obviously, daily uploads here. This is the second of the day. If you do enjoy my content and football therapy, everyone's welcome, so do consider liking and subscribing. And I'll always welcome you to comment down below. Oh yeah, there's still hype points, I think. You must be feeling hyped right now. Drop your hype points down here. Drop them. Let's get into it. All right, to learn about this game, we will utilize SofaScore. Here we go. It looks great with the green screen, doesn't it, with me in the corner? Good content. Good format. Right, so look at that attacking momentum meter. Yeah, for those of you watching video. You could, obviously, this is available on podcast platforms, Football Therapy Podcast, but you can watch the video on Spotify. Here you go. Momentum meter. Now, I think this visual representation of the game looks quite generous to Chelsea, but these breaks, these intermittent pieces of green, which represent the attacking phases that Villa had, were dangerous, man. You know, Watkins had scored. This is another thing that really gave me to use Gen Z white girl vibes. Gave me the ick. 1 goal in 11 games for Watkins. He came off the bench in the reverse fixture and scored twice. And of course, they had Tammy Abraham on the bench, Sancho on the bench, Barkley on the bench. Chelsea players all over the gaff. Martin started, obviously. But Yeah, here we go, man. So, it was a weird game. So 4-2-3-1 from Villa. And look, this is a good team, bro. Douglas Luiz and Amadou Onana is a good double pivot. What the hell is nonsense that they don't have any midfielders? So who's out for them at the moment? McGinn, Boubacar Kamara, Tielemans. Yeah, that's a lot of good players. But still, a double pivot of Douglas Luiz and Amadou Onana. Of course, Luiz scoring in the second minute. And then, they got loads of players and who featured. There's a lot of talent there still. Oh, I'm going all over the gaff at the moment. Chelsea, of course, started with Jorgensen in goal. Now, I don't think this is because it's a midweek rotation, because we play Caicedo and Enzo every game, and they actually do running, unlike a goalkeeper. I genuinely think it's because Sanchez was absolutely bricking himself away at the Emirates. He was getting a little bit wobbly on the ball, and the Arsenal fans of the Emirates were going, getting inside his head. I reckon Rosinia thought, I do not want that to happen at Villa Park under the lights. Wednesday night, the Brummies had a few beers, and they watch Sanchez do a few wobbly passes, and they go, Rosinia's probably thinking, I'm not having that again. I don't particularly think Jorgensen's any good. But I wonder if that's why he did it. Malo Gusto starts at right back. Wes partners Chalobah. In terms of that was the starting centre-back partnership for a long, long time. Hato still starts. Cucurella does come off the bench. But Hato, has been starting recently. But he's a better technician than Marc Cucurella. But Marc Cucurella is a better defender and more intelligent with his positioning. And, Cucurella will score you some goals. And he's just a better player, more senior. But Hato's look very promising for a 19-year-old. Midfield of Enzo Fernandez. Let's look at some heat maps. Sort of left midfield. I think this really was a 4-3-3. Central midfield from Caicedo. Right midfield from Reece James. It was your conventional 4-3-3. Conventional right back from Gusto. Conventional left back from Hato. Maybe a little bit more reserved. Garnacho, conventional left-sided winger. And yeah, Palmer. False nine, JOAO Pedro all over the gaff, as you'd expect. So we'll go through the timeline. Let's look at the stats, just so we learn who was the more dominant team. 3.92 XG with no penalties. That is what I want, guys. 5 big chances, 15 shots. 57% possession away from home. It's great gear. It's a lovely bit of business. It's Chelsea Football Club. That is what you want to see. Now, Unai Emery's Aston Villa were quite accommodating in terms of balls over the top and behind. We'll get to that. But let's timeline this mother. Right, here we go. So this is why I'm happy, because the second minute we conceded a goal. not because we conceded a goal, but despite conceding a goal in the second minute, we won 4-1 away from home. That showed resilience, character, general good football from this young Chelsea team. It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows and could have gone another way. I think because a couple of VAR calls went our way. You will see here. Watkins' goal was cancelled, and I think JOAO Pedro's second to put us ahead was given. And they were both very tight calls, but they were the correct calls. You expect that from VAR. We'll talk about JOAO Pedro and his goals in a little bit more detail shortly, but Gusto assists Pedro to equalise in the 35th minute. So between the second and the 35th minute, it's really frustrating because Chelsea are broadly playing well, knocking the ball around really well. Garnacho's looking really good, getting loads of joy. As you can see in the 32nd minute, Garnacho gets cash booked, and then he's got over an hour to play on a yellow card, and actually Garnacho had him on toast. For the whole of the first half, I think Garnacho played well. For the start of the second half, I think he went off the ball and obviously came back to the fore. So JOAO Pedro scores. We'll talk about his goals in detail, like I said, in a minute. Ollie Watkins scores on the break. I think this is a mix-up between Reece James and Cole Palmer. It's a really bad look, actually. And like I said, I knew Watkins would put the ball in the back of the net against Chelsea, because that's what he does. And fortunately for us, he was a little bit offside. JOAO Pedro, 10 minutes after his first goal. Oh, sorry, no, it was 6 minutes into stoppage time. So what's that? 16 minutes. into his after his first goal. He gets his second. Enzo Fernandez assist puts us ahead. What a lovely warm feeling going into. It's the second game in the row we've scored on the brink of half time. Of course, we did it at the Emirates as well with Reese's Olympico / Nkapie own goal. Matty Cash does come off, probably because he's injured there, but I think probably Unai knows that he's on toast. JOAO Pedro, did he get booked? I don't remember him getting booked. Cole Palmer scores a beautiful goal, apparently assisted by JOAO Pedro. I don't actually remember the assist, but amazing to get him on the score sheet, and that's the goal that you think, you can sort of relax a little bit. Now, Rodgers gets booked, and Enzo Fernandez applauds the ref non-sarcastically. I think he's genuinely like saying, well done, and you can't clap the ref. It's like the same way you can't wave an imaginary card. So Fernandez gets booked. So he's got so many bookings for dissent, Enzo, that this is going to be another conversation with him and Rosinia. Apparently they're at a meeting about bookings. They're just going to have to say to him, don't do that. You just can't clap the refs. Stop doing it. Should be easy, right? Don't do that. Just don't do that. Maybe a thumbs up. They can't book you for a thumbs up. Just a nice little thumbs up. Of course, we're 2 goals ahead, but there's still time to go, so Unai goes for it, throwing on 2 ex-Chelsea players in Sancho and Barkley, and Alisson. Don't know who that is. But literally, just as soon as they come on, Garnacho assists JOAO Pedro really unselfishly on the break, squares it to him, and JOAO Pedro scores, and of course there's a lot of changes. So let's talk about the goals. Firstly, the goal in the second minute. It's a little bit of a sort of brain farty moment inside the second minute. I don't know if Jorgensen was bad in that. I don't know, but it sort of got behind the last line and was just tucked in. It was really poor, really, really poor. But the Chelsea goals. Firstly, Cole's goal. That rhymes. It was a really well struck. The ball sort of falls calmly to him outside the box. I guess it is a JOAO Pedro assist. I don't remember it being assist. I just sort of remember it falling to him. I'll have to watch it back. But yeah, he gets the ball. Like I said, it's probably 3 yards out. It's in the 18-yard box. So it's probably like 18 yards because it was on the line. It's a long-range shot, basically. It's hardly in, and he keeps it low. He hits it really well. It goes in. It's a really lovely open play goal from Chelsea's most gifted player, probably. And that was a huge, huge moment. But of course, the talk of the town, the man of the moment, the man of the match is, of course, JOAO Pedro, who isn't just scoring like... when certain players just score a lot of goals, like Salah or Haaland, because Salah, the team has been designed for Mo Salah to just finish off certain moves in certain sequences, and they're just really reliable. Same with Haaland as well. Haaland's just a beast in the 18-yard box. I'm not saying JOAO Pedro is better than Haaland yet. But he's such a good footballer. He holds up the ball like a proper striker. He can play in multiple positions. He can press. He's technical. He's obviously, he's not this big cumbersome figure like Erling Haaland. He's kind of a perfect blend because he's only 6. I mean, I'm 6 foot, but so he's only, but I don't feel like tall at 6 foot. I still look up to a lot of people, and so I don't think he's like this. He's really good in the air despite being 6 foot. He's amazing at pressing. He's really strong despite not being hugely bulky. He's kind of like the perfect blend of this all sorts of kinds of attributes as a player. I loved all 3 of his goals. First one, he slid in at the back post like a proper centre forward. When the ball goes through the corridor of uncertainty, he was there. The second was an absolute beauty, a little bit more of a deft flick, a little bit more of that Samba boy Brazilian flair, a nice little real gentle, intelligent finish over the goalkeeper. And the third, of course, he owes a lot to Garnacho, who squared it to him, but he still was the perfect touch. You see some, out of form strikers balloon off their feet. Everything he touches turns to gold at the moment. It's absolutely sensational stuff, and I love it, and he deserves all the praise. He's the same age as Delat, by the way. Delat must be sitting on the bench thinking, bugger. Do you know what I mean? He took the number 9 at Chelsea. He's Joao Pedro signed for us. We didn't really know he was going to be a striker. We knew he could be a number 10 backup for Parma, maybe play on the left, like maybe play striker. That's why sort of, Delap is a number 9. That's why he got the number 9. He's undisputed. Right now, Joao Pedro is starting for Brazil. Like, he's this form attacker. I mean, I guess so. Like, Vini's scoring a couple of goals, and Rodrigo's injured now. I'm trying to think. Cunha, he's the guy, Joao Pedro. So player performances, let's talk about it then. I've already spoken wax lyrical about Joao Pedro. I'm delighted for Cole Palmer getting the goal. He, of course, had some good moments in terms of occupying bits of space at Arsenal until they sort of worked him out a little bit. But here as well, in the first half, he, before his goal, he had these little moments, these little, you could tell he's just coming, it's coming. That goal should do him the world of good. Got the midfield, all good. Reece James had some frustrating moments, some great balls, but it's just good to have him on the pitch. He really grew into the game in the second half. Enzo got an assist, which is great. Caicedo, pretty solid performance. Wes came off injured, probably not his best performance. Chalobah, yeah, it was good, very solid. Hato demonstrated what we like to see, that he's very good on the ball, and I actually was really pleased for Malo Gusto. Getting an assist as well. He's out of him and Reece James. You can sort of rely on Gusto to fly up and down a little bit more. Like Reece James probably did when he was a little bit younger, but I can understand why he went for this. Jorgensen did make a few saves. He was rolling around at the end for some reason. I've got no idea why. We were 4-1 up, so with no time to go. Yeah, there was also a shout. I want to end on Garnacho, by the way. There was also a shout for a penalty early doors on Reece James from Martin. For my money, it wasn't a penalty at all. And just quickly, we weren't perfect in this game. There was loads of vulnerabilities on transition where, like I said, they either fluffed their lines, or we got that lucky offside call on Ollie Watkins. It's just inches. Do you know what I mean? So we weren't perfect. There was lots of vulnerability on transitions, but so it was that kind of game. Garnacho obviously got an assist at the very end. He definitely deserved it. He had a few poor decisions before, but heck, that's what Alejandro Garnacho does. But I'm delighted for him because we are short on left wingers. We are short on them. Neto, of course, has got a suspension that he served in this game of 2 yellows. It was always going to be probably, unless Delap played on the wing again, it was always probably going to be this, especially with Estevao unavailable and still injured as well. Unless you did something unless you did Palmer on the right wing like he is, and Fernandez in that hybrid left wing role, and therefore you obviously start Santos. But he did really well. He did really, really well, Garnacho. I don't think right now I still ever see him as Chelsea's starting left winger, but I see him being useful. I actually see him being sold at some point for maybe a little profit, I don't know, or just for the money back and a book profit and whatever, because he was an opportunistic signing. Gittins was the one they really wanted, that they really chased for ages, that they profiled as their preferred left winger style player, where Garnacho is he's a good player, he's got a sort of high volume of certain metrics on the pitch, as sexy as that sounds, and we can get him for 40 million quid. That's a good buy, especially considering how young he is. But yeah, look, man, anyone who wants to play for Chelsea, who plays well for Chelsea, you've got my backing, and he played well today. Let me know your thoughts, though. Please do leave them down in the comments section below. If you want to support me, you're welcome to. I don't really just talk about the subs here because, it was all about the starters, really. But thank you for liking and subscribing on YouTube, gang. You're all welcome. Do go check me out on the podcast platforms. It's the same content, but if you just want to listen, you've got the opportunity. Football Therapy Podcast, and you can watch the video on Spotify as well if you've got premium there and you don't want to watch ads or whatever. Thanks again for your support, guys. See you tomorrow. Take care. Peace.